2026 is now here, and it is your chance to become the best version of yourself in all areas of life. Look, I went from being a D student all my life to achieving a 97 plus ATAR, becoming the Dux of my cohort, getting a band 6 in everything, and getting a scholarship. And it all started with what I did in the first week of the new year. No joke. It was the first week of the new year, and just in general, the start of the new year, where I really made that commitment and really just changed my life around so that the next year ahead was full of success and ultimately the goals that I so really wanted to achieve. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact rapid fire system that guarantees your academic comeback in 2026. No BS, no long explanations. I'm going to get right to the point. So get a pen and paper ready. You need to be taking notes on this video. And look, if you cannot watch through this entire video, then you're cooked either way, because I'm going to make this as short as possible so you can take action right now. So let's jump right into it. The first thing I need you to do is what I call the 15-minute brutal reality check. Right? And what this is I want you right now to open up a Google Doc or get a physical journal, I don't really care. And I want you to reflect on 2025. Okay? What were the mistakes that you made? What were the lessons that you learned? What were the wins that you had, even if they weren't much or even if they were small? Write it all down. Now, the biggest mistake that people make when they're doing this is either they rush it or they're not true to themselves. Like when you do this exercise, and you know what, I'm going to change the word. I don't mean to say brutal 15-minute because it should take as long as it's required. It can be 10 minutes, 15 minutes, an hour. Mine usually takes like an hour, to be honest with you. You need to be as brutally honest to yourself as possible, okay? Like I'm talking, you need to write down the deepest, darkest mistakes that you made, the lessons that you've learned. Right? And you need to not shy away from the truth, because it is those that the people who shy away from the truth never change themselves. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Yes, it's going to suck, but you need to write it down. So just to recap, write these down. Your mistakes that you made, the lessons that you've learned, and the wins that you've had, even if they are minor. And by the way, this is not just academics. Do it in all areas of life, health, mental state, everything, okay? Be as aware as possible. So that's the first thing, a brutal reality check of how 2025 went. And look, I called it a brutal reality check for a reason. You need to be brutal, okay? First thing. Second thing I need you to do is I need you to write down the one thing, the one goal that you are going to go all in for 2026. I don't care if you want to start a YouTube channel. I don't care if you're interested in becoming an influencer. I don't care if you're interested in doing 101 different things. If you are serious about achieving the ATAR that you want to achieve, if you are serious about achieving that 90, 95 plus or whatever you want, and if you are serious about making an academic comeback, you need that to be your number one goal. I'm sorry. I know there might be some people out there who claim that you can have everything. You just can't. Anyone out there who succeeded never did it by having everything. You need to choose that one thing and you need to go all in. And the way I personally did this is I got a sticky note like this and I wrote down my number one objective for this year is to get a 95 ATAR. And I wrote that and I stuck it on my computer monitor and I looked at it every single day. That is how you succeed. You need to have every single atom, every single vibration, every single frequency, however you want to put it, every single organ in your body, you need to go all towards that one goal, which is achieving the ATAR that you want. Okay. Now that's the academic side of things. I also want you to set goals, not like, starting a business, not that type of goal, because that's going to interrupt your goal of the ATAR. I want you to set goals in other categories of your life, like your health, your spirituality, right? Your relationships, okay? So I'll give you some examples of mine, right? Some examples of the goals that I set for my health is to go gym 4 times a week. An example of a mental goal I had is to read for 30 to 45 minutes every single day, read a book, right? Even this year itself, I have a goal of learning a language, et cetera, right? For relationships, my goal was to spend as much time with my family and my siblings as possible. Just set goals in all areas of your life, but the key here is to not set too many. That's the biggest mistake people make, okay? The biggest mistake people make is that they set too many goals and they don't achieve any of it. So set one goal for each category and focus full just full energy in that goal. The third thing I want you to do is what I call the 20-minute life reset. Now, I say 20 minutes, but again, it can be longer depending on your circumstances. But the reason why I said 20 minutes is because it shouldn't take so long to do, right? And what the life reset is I want you to just organize your entire life. What I mean by that is organize your physical desk, organize your computer so it's clean and tidy. Get new books for your subjects, get the textbooks, just have everything clean and organized. Don't have your desk dirty, don't have your computer cluttered, because if you do that, then your mind is going to be cluttered, right? A clutter-free environment is a clutter-free mind. And by doing this physically, it's going to actually signal to your own mind that, okay, it's a fresh start, right? And on top of this too, like delete social medias, right? Get rid of the things that are clogging your mind. That's number 3, the 20-minute life reset. The fourth thing I want you to do is develop your warrior routine, okay? Now, I'm calling it a warrior routine because the truth is 2026, I want you to treat it like a battle, because it is a battle. Anyone who treats a year like not a fight or like not a battle, they always end up doing average. For me, when I was in year 12, I treated it like a battle. I literally treated it like a battle against me and my other version of myself, battling together to achieve the goal that I want to achieve, which was a 95 ATAR. So this is what I need you to do right now. And I've done this myself already for 2026. I want you to write down the routines you're going to have, the habits you're going to develop, the things you're going to sacrifice, your boundaries. This is so, so important. If you scroll right now on social media, I implore you and I beg you, make that the thing that you get rid of in 2026, especially if you're someone who's looking to make an academic comeback. You cannot have social media in your life. And I know it sounds crazy because I post on social media, but that's just proof that, I'm not telling you this out of my self-interest. This is for your sake. Get rid of TikTok, get rid of Instagram, get rid of everything that is blocking your way. And on top of that, ask yourself, what other things do I need to sacrifice? If you do not sacrifice for your goal becomes a sacrifice. You need to sacrifice the things that you know are holding you back. Me, I sacrificed sleeping in when I was in year 12. Me, I sacrificed gaming. Me, I sacrificed hanging out with friends every single week. And I love doing those things, but I had to sacrifice it to achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve. And I have no regrets, okay? So develop your warrior routine. What time are you going to wake up? What are you going to do in the morning? What habits are you going to develop? What are you going to not do in 2026? And etc. Make it as extensive as possible. When I say extensive, I mean not necessarily, at 5 a.m. I'm going to do this, 6 a.m. I'm going to do this, blah, blah, blah. I mean specifically, like, what habits you want to have. Do you want to be someone who wakes up early? What time do you want to go to sleep? And etc. Develop that, put it on a Google Doc, and then print it out, as I've done myself. Mine's on my wall right next to me. I look at it every single day. It maps out my entire routine. And no, you don't have to stick to it every day. It's the thing that you want to strive to do. Number 5 is identity transformation. Now, this is something that is pretty advanced. It's something that I personally teach my students inside of Dux Academy. And it's something that no one will actually teach you, but it is the most important thing that you need to do, okay? Identity transformation. Now, the goals that you want to achieve, you don't just achieve the goal. The goal comes from you. Goals are a product of your identity. There's a reason why, for example, Elon Musk, who makes $600 billion a year, there's a reason why if he was to have $0 in his bank right now, he would become a millionaire in a few hours. Why? Because his identity is someone who is a millionaire, someone who is wealthy. That's who he is, full stop. And therefore, he cannot go broke without getting rich again. It's the same thing when it comes to school. You have to change your identity to become someone who's worthy of achieving that ATAR that you want, someone who's worthy of achieving those straight A's, right? And let me tell you something. If I didn't change my identity at the start of year 11, I would still fail school. Because if you're like put it this way, right? If you are failing school right now, if you're not doing well in school right now, you deserve that, because that's how you behave, that's how you think, and that's how you act, which leads to those results. So you can't expect to change the results without fixing you first. It is all an identity thing. It's a very advanced topic and something I teach very, very in-depth in my program. But you cannot succeed without changing yourself. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down who is the ideal version of yourself. That version of yourself who gets those straight A's, who gets that ATAR that you want. Who are they? Like, how do they act? How do they think? Do they doubt themselves? What are their good traits? What time do they wake up? Like right now, if you were to imagine someone, right, and this is what I did at the start of year 11, if you were to imagine the version of yourself, let's say your name is John. If you were to imagine who is John who gets straight A's, what do they do? Do they scroll? Probably not. Do they play games all day? Probably not. Do they read? Yes. Do they study a lot? Yes. Write that all down, and then you want to become that type of person by visualizing that type of person and behaving like you are them. You have to act like them, right? Mike Tyson said, I was a champion before I ever became a champion. What that means is he acted like a champion before he even became one, which allowed him to become one. Same thing with me. Even though I was failing school, even though I sucked at school, I still behaved and acted like I was someone who was doing well, and ultimately that led to me doing well. And finally, the last thing I want you to do for this year, for 2026, is I want you to prepare for war. Right now, this seems a little bit dark and gloomy, but it's just like, it's one of my best secrets. You need to treat 2026 like a war, because it is one, right? If you're in year 12, for example, it is going to be a war. If you're in year 11, it's going to be a war. Why? Because you have to fight yourself every single day. You have to fight yourself to stick to those habits, to achieve that goal, to not fall into those same routines that you had for 2025. Treat 2026 like an absolute war so that you have the right mentality. And what I mean by this is, for example, right, let's say one of your goals is to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. You think it's going to be easy? You think you're just going to sleep early every day and wake up early every day? No, there's going to be days that you don't want to do it. That's why you need to treat it like a battle, because in a battle, you can't just run away. You have to face the pain if you want to succeed. You can run away from battle, but you're not going to win the battle, right? To win the battle, you need to go head on and you need to succeed and you need to fight. And that's exactly what I need you to do for 2026, okay? Because 2026 is a war that has many battles. Because a war is just a congregation of multiple battles, right? The battle of trying to wake up early, that's going to happen. The battle of getting a bad mark in school and then trying to get back up, it's going to happen, and etc. Treat 2026 like a war so that you're prepared. So there you have it. Those are the 6 things that I need you to do for 2026 right now. Don't procrastinate this. Don't overcomplicate it. Let me just summarize for you. Number 1, brutal 15-minute reality check. Number 2, the one thing. What's the one thing you're going to focus on? Number 3, the life reset. Physically organize your life, computer, desk, everything like that. Number 4, develop the routine that you're going to follow every single day for 2026. Number 5, the identity transformation. Transform yourself to become the person who's capable of success. And finally, prepare for war, because it is going to be a war. 99% of students, the truth is 99% of students are just going to treat this year like another year, just like every other bloody year they have, but not you, because you are going to be that one student who decides to take this year with their hand and be like, no, I'm not going to lose. I'm going to win. I'm going to dominate. And I'm going to walk out of this year, a better person in all areas of life. Okay. Please don't make the same mistakes that most people do, because I'm not joking. 99% of students are going to give up by February. That's the truth. Don't make that be you. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you're looking to get some personal mentorship so that you can actually dominate 2026 with a clear path moving forward, then check the first link in the description. I'm very glad to say that in 2025, we'd had multiple students inside Dux Academy achieve their goal ATAR. We've had people go from 50% to achieving a 97 plus ATAR, from 60% to a 95 ATAR, and the result is absolutely insane. So if you're someone right now who's not doing well in school right now, who wants to make an academic comeback and achieve their dream ATAR, then check the first link down below so we can guarantee that for you. Okay, I wish you the best, and I'll see you in the next one.